As it stands right now, the 17th of June is when the Premier League will be returning to television, and it will be returning in general. Now, big announcement yesterday, obviously, and everybody probably will have seen it as well, but even so, we're going to go over everything that was said, or everything that is proposed, I should say, as well. Now, on the 17th of June, there's going to be two games that take place between Aston Villa and Sheffield United and Manchester City versus Arsenal. Two massive games for all of the clubs that are involved. Sheffield United, who are chasing and wanting to stay in the Europa League spots. Aston Villa, who are wanting to get themselves out of relegation zone and everything like that, or out of relegation threatening zone, whatever. Man City want to try and do their very best and keep the pressure up on Liverpool as much as they can. And Arsenal want to make sure that they can somehow get some sort of European football so that they get some injection of money over the summer, because if they don't have that, they will really struggle with the amount of players that might leave, or there's rumours that a David Luiz is not going to have his contract renewed. Will Aubameyang stay? Lacazette is apparently being courted by Inter Milan. They'll want to be wanting to try and keep hold of their players as best as they possibly can. Now, after that, these games are scheduled on here anyway. They're scheduled to kick off at 8 o'clock at night at both times. Every single game is going to be screened live, and I don't know if they're all going to be for free, but they will. Every single game, every 92 games will be screened live on either BT, BBC are going to be hosting some as well, and I wonder whether BBC will get hold of Man City versus Arsenal, or whether that'll go to BT Sport, Sky Sports, Amazon will probably get involved as well. I'm pretty sure there's another one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think ITV are involved in this one, but I could be wrong. It could all change. We don't always know. But it's an important step in the fact that the Premier League will be coming back. And why have they chosen these games in particular to come back with first? If they come back with these games and everything goes to plan, these games on the Wednesday, the 17th of June, are the catch-up games. Now, I've been saying all along that there's 92 games left to play. These two games that would get played between Villa, Sheffield United and City versus Arsenal, once those two games are played, that will take every team in the league up to have played 29 games out of the entire season. Then no one can argue that, oh well, not everyone's played the same amount of games. And let's be honest, even if Man City win their game against Arsenal, it would only take them to within 22 points of Liverpool. So it's not closing the gap massively. And I don't know, it means it's a good idea to have played all of these catch-up games, the two catch-up games here, which makes sure that everyone has then played the same amount of games. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important in case something goes wrong between that game being played and then perhaps if there's a fixture on the Friday or the Saturday, the Sunday, whatever. If something goes wrong between there and then, and the Premier League may not be able to fully return, or something goes wrong, whatever may happen, all the teams will have played the same amount of games. Nobody would be able to complain that, you can't finish the league, or you can't end the league with teams not having played the same amount of games as each other, and etc. etc. So it would mean that Aston Villa couldn't make that argument in terms of relegation. And where are they? In fact, they're 19th. If they win their game, which would take them on level games played with Bournemouth, and they win it, they could actually get themselves out of the relegation zone by a bit of a distance. They would jump from 19th to 16th, which would then put Bournemouth in 19th. Watford would then drop in as well, because Aston Villa are on 25 points right now. They would jump up to 28 points, being behind Brighton by 1 point, who are in 15th. So a lot of variables could happen with these games, but it's massive for the likes of Aston Villa for this to come back. It really is. They get to, it's not an asterisk sort of season for anybody at that point. People say it about Liverpool, it's an asterisk season. Obviously, people have seen the comments from Troy Deeney. I'll talk about them a little bit in a little bit, but it's not an asterisk season for Liverpool in the same way that it wouldn't be an asterisk season for a Norwich, a Villa, a Bournemouth, a Watford, whoever else is down there. If they escape relegation, no one's going to care as long as they escape relegation, and that'll be the same for those that are, they get in the Europa League, the Champions League, whoever wins the league. As long as they do it, it matters to them. A Liverpool fan doesn't care what any other fan in the league thinks. They shouldn't, anyway. I don't. What if you're not a Liverpool fan and what you think of the club that I love and I support doesn't matter. And you can love the club as well. You can think, oh yeah, Liverpool's a great club. I don't support them, but they're great. I don't really care. It's not. That's not what it's about. You look after your club. You care about your club. I'll care about mine. That's just how it is for me, anyway. So it looks like the Premier League is on its way back, and that is very, very good in terms of the Premier League. As I've said all along, it needs to make sure that everything that they do, and this is one of the things, the bullet points that it says in the Premier League statement, or maybe not a bullet point, but it's definitely in there where it says, the Premier League will return on the 17th of June or around that sort of time, as long as all the health and safety aspects are, properly 100%, everything is going to work, everything is going to go okay. All the tests and stuff like that before the 17th of June, everything goes tickety-boo, everyone's all right, cases aren't becoming a little, they're not getting more and more, we're not having more and more positive tests than we should be having, or something, anything like that. As long as that all goes to plan, the Premier League will come back, and it will happen. So let me know what you think in terms of the Premier League coming back. The schedule, or the proposed schedule, I had it up here. Let me just see if I can grab it. Apparently, the weekend match schedule will be as follows. Apparently, this is according to James Ollie, who is he's very prominent in football journalism online, especially. Friday will always be an 8 o'clock kickoff. Then Saturday, you'd have 12:30 kickoff, 3 o'clock kickoff, 5:30 kickoff, and an 8 o'clock kickoff. Sunday, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4:30, and 7 p.m. Monday would be an 8 p.m. kickoff as well. And then if there's midweek matches, it says a Tuesday, Wednesday, or a Thursday would either kick off on at 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Or if they've got multiple games, then you'll have some that kick off at 6, you'll have some that kick off at 8 o'clock. So it's going to be a busy schedule. It's going to be a little bit like the Bundesliga, I feel. So it's not going to be essentially just like, we're going to play 10 games over each weekend, do it over 9 weeks. I think what they're looking at is to have the Premier League from the restart date till the finish date, they want it to be 6 weeks. So that's it's not a long time. It's a month and a half. It's going to be very intense. It's going to be very, very, it's going to be difficult. It really will be. And maybe this is something that they can look at in terms of the future of the Premier League, the scheduling problems that they always have. We see it with Liverpool this year, and obviously I'm not expecting people to have sympathy for Liverpool just because I'm a Liverpool fan, but you see it this year with the whole Club World Cup and the Carabao Cup and such like that, where we were having to play 2 games within 24 hours of each other. Like, that was just crazy. And the fact that we couldn't possibly put the first team into the Carabao Cup, go all the way out and play the Club World Cup as well. You couldn't do it. Like, it's just, those types of scheduling problems need to not happen. And whether that's something, these sorts of schedules that they're doing now for the Premier League, where they're going to wrap up 92 games within 6 weeks, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Obviously, they've also got to sort out what the Champions League and the Europa League, how they're going to finish that as well, and the teams that are involved in that as well. Obviously, it's going to be quite frantic as well. I'm expecting there to be quite a few injuries, to be fair, not necessarily just to Liverpool, but I'm expecting injuries, to come from all over, because it's going to be a very intense schedule. The FA Cup, obviously, the FA Cup final will need to be played as well, which will be in like August or something like that. We don't know what's really going to happen with it, but as long as everything is healthy and safe and all that sort of business, then I'm fully behind it. The second it becomes unsafe, I'm not behind it. That's my point of view. If it's unsafe at all, then the Premier League should not be coming back. It should be 100% safe. 99.9% isn't good enough. That 0.1% or whatever, 0.01% isn't good enough. It needs to be 100%, absolutely 100% safe, then that's okay. But anything, even slightly less than 100%, is not good enough. And that's just my opinion. Some people might disagree with it because we're so desperate to get the football back. We're so desperate to get basically the biggest sport in the world and our biggest sport as well. We're desperate to get it back. But you shouldn't just let that cloud what is really, we're still in the middle of a global pandemic. A lot of places are starting to look at relaxing all the restrictions, the lockdown. We're being told over here as well that we're able to exit a little bit of lockdown. You can go and meet like a group of 6 people, and then I'm a bit iffy with that one already. It looks like we're sort of jumping the gun on, let's start meeting up with people and stuff like that, because meeting up with just 6 people won't just do that. It'll be like, we'll take our 6 friends and we'll meet up with their 6 friends, and then we'll meet up with their 6 friends, and all of a sudden you've got like 50 odd people or in a park, and people have been doing that anyway. But anyway, I digress heavily. As long as things are safe, as long as things are healthy, I'm all for it. The one thing that I will end on is there was a couple of articles flying around yesterday about Liverpool having to play our home games at neutral venues because of the distrust of Liverpool fans in Liverpool, obviously, not being able to restrain themselves from going to Anfield and showing up in their thousands at Anfield during the games, just because we're on the cusp of winning a title, that we won't be able to restrain ourselves. And I think that's pretty gross, to be honest. I think you can't have one team, and to be fair, actually, I will say this, to be fair, it didn't just say Liverpool in the article. It actually said big London club derbies as well, my thought has always been, it has to be the same for everybody. Whether you're bottom of the league or you're top of the league and everybody else in between. It needs to be the same for absolutely everybody. You either all play at neutral venues or you all play home and away. It can't be, we're going to play home and away, absolutely fine, no bother. If you're in a relegation zone battle, you can play at home, you can play away, whatever you want to do. But if you're a big club, up the top, you're a big London club, as it said in this article as well, I think it could have been The Guardian, but I'm not sure. If you're top of the league and you haven't won the league in 30 years, or if you're a big London club and there's a big London club derby, you guys are going to have to play at neutral venues because we don't trust your fan bases. That's not fair. That is isolating certain fan bases and isolating certain clubs as well, and that's not fair. That's not how you do things. It has to be fair for everybody. You can't just cherry pick who you're going to prioritise and say, it's alright, don't worry, you're in a relegation zone battle, no bother, you can play at home, don't worry about it, it's all good, you can have home advantage, even though it doesn't exist if you've watched the Bundesliga. But you guys up top, you guys that are successful, that have got big clubs, we're going to punish you because we can. We don't trust your fans. You've got to have it the same for everybody. You either all play neutral or you all play home and away. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Listen, I'm going to get out of here. It's Friday morning. It's not been a great week for no particular reason. It's just not been a very positive week. Sometimes mentality just, I don't know what it is sometimes, and I don't know why I'm ending the video with this, but I feel it's a little bit important because some people may be in the same sort of state as well. I don't know if it's because I have personally taken lockdown seriously. I leave my house once every 2 weeks, literally. Might be a little bit, over the top for some people, but I've taken this lockdown very seriously. Now, whether it's because I've been in my house I'm in my house for 13 days, like straight, and I've been able to cope very, very well, doing stuff, making some like occasional daily videos when I can. Haven't been as consistent this week, and it's just purely a mentality thing. Don't know what's going on in there. It's just not been a very positive week for my mental health. No concerns, nothing like that, nothing to be concerned about, like touch wood, definitely. Nothing to be overly concerned about, but I can imagine some people are also possibly feeling the same, and it's totally normal. It really is totally normal to feel the same when you're in your house. And don't get me wrong, I love my house. I love like my room, my studio room that this is, with it's got all my guitars and my basses and my keyboard that I've had set up here as well, and changing my room around and stuff. It's It's been positive, writing music, getting videos out daily, pretty much covering the Bundesliga, talking about stuff as well. But it's all right to have days where I had a day the other day. I forced myself to get up, but if I didn't, I would have quite happily just stayed in bed all day for no particular reason. It just wasn't. It was just a cloud over the entire day, and I imagine some people also get that as well. It's totally normal. It's just try and get through the day as best as possible. Like, it was a genuine, like, all of my energy was just to get up and walk around my house. Like, it sounds really, really silly, sounds really, really stupid, and anyone that doesn't have these sorts of, like, thoughts or negative, bad, places that they can sometimes go to, you might not understand it. It's just, I don't know. Just make sure to take care of yourselves, that's all. If you can get out and about, do so. I'm going to try and make a bit more of a concerted effort to maybe go out a little bit more, but it's just not been a great time. Anyway, listen, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you ever so much for watching these videos. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. But for now, I'm out of here. I will catch back up with you guys on Monday morning or Monday afternoon. The weekend is just going to be a weekend of just getting my mind right. Working on myself a little bit more. But aside from that, do take care. Take care of yourselves. Take care of those that are around you. If you certainly can. I will catch you later.